Raise the troops and get involved. Yes, indeed. Show our patronage to the new king. All hail, hopefully, King Richard. Right. What do I do? I'm so excited by this now. Raise the fleets. We have 4 ships. That would be 4, 5, 6 ships, enough for 600 men. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into the boats. Like that. I'm going to put them into the boats. Wait a minute here. And then move these boats. So I'm going to move the boats to here. Get all my men into the boats here. Count Robert of Devon. Assassination attempt on Norman de Avantres. I don't know who he is. I really don't give a crap, to be honest with you. Right. Let's merge the armies. Merge the boats. Get them dropped off in Essex, because I think Essex still belongs to the king. Yes, it does. And the good thing about all these people joining against the king is that the king now technically has much less land. He owns 4 counties. So all we need to do is assault and siege out these 4 counties and he loses the war. This war could be over in 2 years. It looks as if things are working out nicely. Right, we're taking our troops to Essex just to show the fact that we are willing to join this war, not only by signing our name on a treaty, but by raising the troops and getting involved in the war. And now Duke George pulls out of the king's army, rides off into the sunset, gets back home, raises his own levies under a new banner and heads straight to Essex. Cornwall is potentially looking at a revolt risk due to some misdemeanor with the taxes. We can't have our marshal quell the revolts just yet because he's just been sent to train the troops to increase our levy size. But nevertheless, we are currently sieging Colchester. Our allies have the current king by the cojones, and they're twisting them and watching him squirm in agony as his kingdom rebels against him. Wow. Our castle donjon has been built in Tintagel. We will now save up for the next building, which will be probably Castle Donjon level 2. Some technological increases. Wow. I just love this game so much, the twists and turns. I mean, when I'm playing when I'm playing the campaign without LPing it, I don't get this excited. I don't create a backstory for my single player games. I just play through it and get, just go through the motions, whereas here I feel as if I've got an invested interest into making this succeed and make this work, which heightens every decision that you make. It really intensifies the enjoyment of the game. So the next question is, will we get rewarded for joining Prince Richard, hopefully soon to be King Richard? Will we get granted any additional land, any additional titles? Don't forget, as soon as his daughter is betrothed and marries my son, I will have an alliance with the current King of England. Now, if he's currently King of England, the alliance will not be... I cannot use him in any of my wars because he will be my liege. But having my son marry into marry his daughter. The prestige increase from marrying the daughter of a king is a nice little leap, if you ask me. I bet little Henry is rubbing his hands together, aren't you, son? Eh? Another thing I noted before starting up today's session, which I particularly like, is that Duke Ambrose obviously moved courts to Normandy. Oh boy, just hold your horses, something's happened here. And when you your characters move court, you have no control over them in any shape or form. And when that happens, when it comes to tutoring children, they have control of who tutors who tutors them. And sometimes I see the computer pick some real strange people to tutor your children. But fortunately for us, our son has been wise enough to tutor young George Jr. himself, which means he should pass down his good traits to his son. So that is a massive bonus, that our future ruler potentially is going to have very similar traits to his father. So that's a very good plus sign there. Now, it seems to me as if the current King of England has died. How did he die? A suspicious accident. So not only did the entire of his realm raise up against him, but he died in a suspicious accident. I think he killed himself. I think the utter shame of he ruled for less than a month and he already faces this onslaught here. I think it was just too much for him to bear, and he probably ended his own life, to be honest with you, which leaves his poor little child in charge of a mighty kingdom whilst it falls around his ears. He's going to be imprisoned now if he loses, which is a little bit harsh because he's not really done anything wrong. And here we go, betrothed can marry. Duke of Robert, who is the Duke of York, is marrying my little Cecilia to secure another alliance. Answer in 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. Excellent. She moves to his court. Another alliance secured. It's all looking rather rosy here. The Flemings prosper once again. And although I am personally taking great pleasure in this, of course this was a decision that did not come easy to George. Because, you know, duty bound and all that, serving the crown in the past. In memory of King William the Conqueror, it would have been nice to support the rightful heir to the throne, but I'm sure King William the Conqueror, being a family man himself, of course, would appreciate that sometimes you've got to put your family first. 56%. As I say, this war could be over in less than 2 years. England have Bedford left. There's a couple of lands left here in Middlesex. Middlesex has got a few extra built areas, so it'll take slightly longer for Middlesex to fall. But with every settlement, every holding that does fall to the siege, Duke Richard of Flanders takes a step closer to achieving his goal. And what do England do? Rather than taking their troops to try and defend their own lands, they say, oh, we're going to lose anyway, so we'll just take them into Wales instead. So I think having our Chancellor fabricate claims in Wales is probably pointless. And what I'm going to actually start to do now is I'm going to leave him free just temporarily until this war's finished, because when this war finishes, the claim in Wales might end. Maybe I should have left him there. So Cecilia's become the spy master for her husband. Oh yeah, she's a homosexual one. Strange, but true. Ah, it looks like he's assaulting this here. He's not even waiting to siege it out, he's just launching an attack on the walls. And there we go! Just like that, we have a new king. Everybody say hello to King Richard I of England. His stats aren't much better than the previous king, but what can you do? The most important thing is, are his vassals happier under his control than that of the previous king? And I think you'll see that they are. Yes, there's a couple that aren't totally hunky-dory with his reign, but there's a lot more positives than there were last time. So there you go. Alliances all round. And in a couple of years' time, when my little Henry comes of age, he'll be marrying the daughter of the king. Okay, so what's going on now? Why are we still at war? Something's going on here. Oops-a-daisy. Oh, what's happening here? Duke Richard of Anjou is now trying to in England succession crisis. It looks as if he's trying to now take over the throne himself. Oh, it's a dispute of succession. Well, to be perfectly frank with you, pal, I haven't joined King Richard of England here to then go against him. Not a chance. I decline. So we haven't been bestowed with any additional titles for our war effort, for our joining of the war, but I suppose the most important thing, he didn't do this for title gains. It would have been nice if we were given an extra county or two to feather our bow, but the most important thing that came out of this was the fact that, where is he? My son is alive. He's alive and kicking. Ambrose of Normandy, Hermione as well, who we also like, they are alive, which is a bonus. Big style. Army of Bedford. So why Bedford? This is still going on. Yeah, I think claiming Wales is a lost cause here. Although if we do actually think about it, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Powys? If they do take Gwynedd here, there will be a truce in effect, which means that they won't be able to press any claims for Powys without incurring any penalties. So we could, technically speaking, start claiming this, but I think what we're going to actually do is we're going to turn our efforts now to Ireland. It's ripe for the picking. Fragmented counties and duchies just crying out to be under one banner, the banner of the English, of course. So I think it's about time we went over there. I just want to check one thing. I thought we were actually moving. We're still on pause. I do apologise. Now that we have a new king, does the Crown Authority is set to medium? I think it's gone from high down to medium. So it has lowered. However, medium still means that we cannot wage war with other vassals within the realm, so we still can't take any other land here. So people are getting imprisoned by the king. Is he still imprisoned? Yeah, I told you, this poor little fella who's done nothing wrong other than inherited a title that at the time he probably wouldn't have wanted, now finds himself in the prison of the current king. Let's have a look at his court here. We can see who's been imprisoned by the king. Prisoner in England. So just 2 people. I hope he doesn't kill him. It'd be a little bit harsh, but It's harsh times, and if he grows up in the future, he's going to have a strong claim on the Kingdom of England. Maybe killing a child has to be the right way. What can I say about killing children? Remember the Duke of Normandy? Fell off a parapet, I seem to remember. Right. So we've got a few Crown authorities going on here. We've got the Pope's been excommunicated. King Richard's been excommunicated. Sorry. Gwynedd becomes part of England under the control of this Count Eustace, who now has two lands here. Oh, it seems as if this has just been captured back. I'm sure this was under England's control a minute ago. Strange. Why are you attacking me? What's happening here? Army of Count Drogo of Westmoreland. I think it might be... Oh, I see. These are the people that are trying to depose King Richard. He is still winning the war, though.